Hi, good morning, guys. Today, uh, I would like you to stay on mute because most of the things that we are going to discuss, I don't want that there has to be a background noise or people are asking questions in between. So, we'll be taking some questions, but we'll be covering them at the end, not during the session, because the flow and the message is very important. If that is distorted, then we lose everything, right? That is very important. The topic that we are going to discuss today is fear. Now, fear is something which I get a lot of questions for. I almost everyone is not able to do what they desire to do. I have used the word desire. What they desire to do, they are not able to do because of fear. Now, if I ask you, how many of you want to become really rich? Really rich, extremely rich. How many of you want to become really rich? Tell me in the chat box. Do you want to earn more money? Yes? Would you want to have a bigger car? Would you want to have a bigger house? Would you want to have 10 houses? What about 50 houses? What about 100 houses? Right? 100 land properties. What would you like to have in life? You would say, I would like to have everything. I will ask you next question, how much cash do you want? You will say all the cash in the world. See, the point to understand here is you are not after those notes of 2000 or 500. You are not after a note which has the photograph of a dead man. Do you want that? What does that paper mean? That means nothing. Understand what is your actual desire. What will you do with that money? Well, you want that money to live. You want that money because you think, you are of the opinion, you are of the belief that when I will have more money, then I can live more. When I will have more money and then I will buy a new car, then I will be happy more. I'll be able to live more. So your desire is not for money. Your desire is not for car. Your desire is not for land. Your desire is not to become powerful or respected. Your desire is that you can start living. But on the contrary, you don't want freedom. You want what? You want security. You don't want freedom. You want to start living also, and you don't want freedom also. Now, so many of you would say, no, we want freedom. We want financial freedom. We want freedom to do whatever we want to do, right? We want freedom. We want unlimited freedom. Let me tell you a small story. There was a prisoner, an inmate, just like normal us, educated person. He was all alone. There was no family, there was no one. He committed a big theft, a big grand theft, and he was jailed. He was in the prison. Now, he used to get meals on time, breakfast at 8 o'clock, lunch at 1 o'clock, dinner at 6:30, every day. There was no responsibility on him. He was in jail for next 10 years. What is the responsibility when you are in jail? There is no responsibility, right? He had safety and security in the jail. He did not have any fear. He was stationed near the guard's office only. His cage, his prison was near the guard's office. There was no problem of security. He was very safe. But one day, suddenly the jailer comes and says, You have been in the jail from past 15 years and now you have to go out. We are freeing you from the jail today. Now that guy did not have a fear since last 15 years. That guy had total absolute security from the last 15 years. But now fear starts coming in his heart. Fear starts entering his body, his mind. Why? Because now he has to make sure that he's responsible for his job, for his food, for his safety, for his security, for everything. Now he starts fearing. So when we are in a prison, we feel safe. Now I was discussing this thing with some person and she said, but if I'll be freed from jail, I'll be happy. I asked her why. Because I have a home to come back to. I have parents, I have a husband who will feed me. That's another prison. That's another point of security that you are seeking. That's another prison. Think about it. You are trying to avoid risk. You are trying to avoid insecurity because you feel you will be rejected. You feel that you will fail. Some days back, there was a mentee of mine. She really wanted to become a coach. She really wanted that she should do something. She should share her message on social media. But she was very scared to face camera, to face judgment. In fact, that fear was in her life for very long. She shared a small story with me that when she was in school and she had a group photograph that day in 10th class, she was very scared. She was not at all comfortable with her face, with her skin, with anything. And she was like, if I will be in this group photograph, then people will remember me how I looked. So just before the photograph, she ran and hid herself in the toilet. She didn't even turn up for the group photograph because she was so scared. Now that fear has not gone even today. She's 45 today. 45. I asked her, what is your fear? What is exactly that you are fearing? She said, Akash, if I will share my message with the world, then world may not like my message. My people will not like my message. They will troll me. They will say that, why are you doing like this? Why are you saying like this? We don't agree to this. I said, fair, okay. Then what will happen? She said, if they will troll me, if they will not like my message, then I'll feel bad. I said, okay. Then what will happen? She said, if I will feel bad, then I will not try to do that thing more. I will do that once or twice, maybe. But then if they'll keep on trolling me, that I will try to avoid that feeling of bad and I will try to quit doing this. I said, okay, then what will happen? Kathy, after I will quit doing this, I'm sharing my message, making my videos, I will be really sad because now I have quit my dream. I have quit what I love to do. I said, okay, fair. We are going in the right direction. Then what will happen? She said, after I will quit and I will become sad, I think that sadness will remain for my entire life. Then what will happen? She said, and I will die sad. At the end of my life, I will be sad and I will die sad. Just think about it. She was fearing death. And in the fear of death, She was not living. She really wanted to share her message with the world, but in the fear of death, she was not living. The question to you is, are you living? Or because of the fear of death? So some people come to me and say, Akash, we don't fear death. We fear failure. See, every failure, whether it is a failure, every fear, whether it is a fear of failure, whether it is a fear of rejection, whether it is a fear of embarrassment, whether it is a fear of criticism, whether it is a fear of success, whatever fear, whatever name you give it, ultimately it ties down to death. I know we don't want to discuss death because it's a taboo, right? But until and unless we don't discuss about the only truth in life, what is the only truth in life? The only truth in life is death, right? What is the other truth? Tell me. Nothing else is certain apart from death. And that has become a pain point for us. That has stopped us from living. Every fear ties down to death. Some people ask me, how, Akash? We have a fear of poverty. Now, the fear of poverty also ties down to fear of death. Why? If you think if you will be poor, if you will not do well, if you don't have excess money, then if you fall ill, you might die. There will be no one to take care of you. You will die alone. You will die. You will die early. Everything is connected with that. The question to you is, it is certain that we all are going to die. It's certain. We don't know when, but it's certain. We all are going to die. The question is, do we want to live before that? Do we want to enjoy, be alive, cry out of joy each and every day of our life? That is the question to you. Because if you desire that, then you will have to drop your fear of dying. And you will have to live every moment of your life. You will have to take risk in your life. You will have to do what your heart desires. Don't think about what is right, what is wrong. There is no right. There is no wrong. Every right with the right arguments can be proven wrong, and every wrong with the right arguments can be proven right. There is nothing right or wrong. The only thing is, are you living every day? Some people say, Akash, how to get rid of this fear completely? Well, the antidote, let me tell you the antidote of fear. How many of you are interested in knowing the antidote of fear? Yeah? The antidote to fear is love. Write it down here if you want. The only antidote to fear is love. When you start loving, the fear goes away. Think about every great artist. I'm not saying only commercially successful artist. I'm not talking about only commercially successful artist. Every great artist, every great author who was happy, who was loving the task that he or she was doing, they were madly in love with what they were doing. They didn't care. It was every second of their life was an eternity because they're living it to the fullest. So start loving. When you love more, when you laugh more, when you dance more, when you sing more, when you give more, then automatically what happens? You become fearless. The fear vanishes. The fear gets transformed. But do not mistake this love for possession. Now, most of the people in this world want to possess what they love. I really love my wife. I want to possess her. I don't want to lose her. I really love my child. I want to possess my child. I don't want to lose my child. Right? But then what happens? Out of that desire for possession, again fear enters. When you want to possess something, then what happens? Fear of losing enters. So don't mistake love for possession. Don't try to possess money. Don't try to possess your partner. Don't try to possess your house. Don't try to possess anything. Fall in love with it. Fall in love with what you are doing. Now, some people say, what if we lose that thing? That's fine. You had lived without that thing also from the past 20, 25, 30, 35 years. If that thing came today, enjoy it till its expiry date. When it will go, it will go. Then love something else. But the only thing that you will do is loving. If you will start doing that, if you will start accepting that, if you will start accepting death as part of your life, that it's gonna come, it's surely gonna come. But before that, I'm gonna live. I'm going to live like 100 lives in this life. If you aim for that, then there is no fear. From today onwards, do what is risky. Do what is making you insecure. Do what others think is crazy. Because your heart desires that you should do it. Now, some people say, Akash, this is too much of philosophy. Where is the practicality in this? We have not come here to take Baba ka. This is not Baba ka gyan. This ties down to the biggest business houses of the world. This ties down to the biggest athletes of the world. Do not take Baba ka gyan, but learn how to live, how to love. Steve Jobs is no more with us. But do you think he lived his life completely? Do you think he did what he truly desired to do in his life? Did he think about, what if I fail? How can I leave my college? How can I quit my masters, my bachelors? What will people say? He didn't care because he lived in the moment. He loved what he was doing. He was crazy. He was not crazy for how much money he will earn. When you don't focus on the money and you focus and fall madly in love with what you are doing, then sometimes what happens is you don't have any space to keep money also. There is so much of money that comes in. But when you are focusing on money and possessing money, then what happens? Fear comes in and then you quit. You don't want to do it. Dhirubhai Ambani built such a big empire in his life. He could have failed. Every great person who has made big business in this world, they could have failed. But failure was their least concern. They wanted to live. They wanted to do what they wanted to do. Yes, we sometimes called them crazy. We sometimes called them foolish. We sometimes called them an outcast. We sometimes called them too bold. We sometimes called them rebellious. That's fine. See, I am a chartered accountant, but I am an outcast. Why? Because I'm not talking what 99.9999% chartered accountants would be talking right now. So I am an outcast for them. Am I losing anything? Or am I living my life to the fullest? From today onwards, when you get a choice to do something which you have never done before, or face failure, or face rejection or criticism, or someone abuses you, do not think about what will people say when I am getting abused or I am getting rejected. Feel the happiness of that moment, that when you were trying, you were fulfilling your inner self's desire. You know, Edison failed for 10,000 times. If you will read my book, the first line that you're gonna say, someone reminded me that it's the first line in my book. Edison failed for 10,000 times. This philosophy, are you able to connect now how he was able to bear that failure of 10,000 times? He was not doing for winning. If he would have been doing for winning, then what would have happened? After 5 times, after 7 times, after 10 times maximum, 20 times, 30 times maximum, he would have said, I can't win here. Let me find another avenue where I will win. But when you detach yourself from winning and you start loving playing, then he would have failed even 20,000 times and he would have loved it. He would have failed till the last moment of his life and he would have loved it, because he was living to play. He was not living to win. And he was not playing half-heartedly, my dear friends. He was playing with the best of his abilities. He was giving more than anyone can give. Such people are precious for this world. What we are doing wrong in our lives is we are afraid. We are not living. We are not taking enough risks. We are not doing what our heart desires. From today onwards, if you implement just this message, in your life is going to change completely. Thank you so much.